screenshot of the website, and then I have this. This is, I got it from the Canada website. Natural health products. I actually once did a raindrop class, and I have to put in bold, Canada use only. And I have to remake all my infographic to talk about cold and coughs and pain and runny nose, because I was teaching Canadians. And I have to use Canada bottles and Canada labels, because I can actually talk about cold and cough here. And I don't know why nobody's talking about it. Are you guys talking about it? Are you guys talking about headaches? I think it's wonderful. I think this is the best place to build a young living business, because I can talk about all these things that I cannot talk about in Hong Kong. That's why I love teaching Canadian workshops, because I can say anything I want. Right? So, can I? I can, right? It's all on the website. Yeah. Well, not everything I want, but a lot of the things that I can say. I mean, I can definitely not say that wintergreen can help me with my painful knee in Hong Kong, right? So these are the things that I would like you guys to focus on, is follow whatever the products and your product guide is talking about. Are you guys doing that? You guys look a little bit reluctant. Can I know why? Is there a reason why?
I don't think you can name body parts, though.
Huh?
I don't know if you can name body parts, can you? I don't think you can name a knee or a...
But they say that if you are coughing, you can say that you're coughing, right?
I don't think you can name the lungs, though.
The lungs? Well, you don't have to name the lungs though, if you're coughing. I don't name my lungs when I'm coughing. I don't say that my lung is coughing. Right? I don't know. How does it actually work?
Yeah, you can, with the natural health product, you can say whatever the claim that they gone through the system to say. So only that, so you can't say lavender works with your skin, because it's not in the list of the natural health product. Like, you can't say oregano can help with what we know oregano does. So only the things that went through Health Canada, that they got approval. So we pretty much follow, look at this, follow the script. But if there's anything that's off script in here, we cannot say it. We just use vague words like harmonizing, balancing, soothing, stuff.
All right. Okay. So I've actually got this. This is my Chinese slide, right? Because I did this in the morning, and I just throw it in my into here. So let me tell you what this says. Okay. So I said it raises your breath, because in Chinese it means it raises the qi. And I use a lot of Chinese terms when I'm sharing my oils, and it's all compliant for Hong Kong. So I would actually, I think you can talk about Chinese medicine, right? Because in Hong Kong we can. And when we're asking US compliance, they say, oh, if it's a Chinese term, yeah, you can do that with Chinese herbals, right? So I talk about, you can raise the qi of your breathing, right? You can say that, and here you can say that, right? And then this is actually the heart chakra. And you can talk about chakras, right? And then in Chinese, it's actually said opening your heart and opening your breath, your breathing, so that it helps you breathe better. And I believe you can say that. So I know that it's very tricky, but we can always find ways to say it. And I know we can show this. This is actually, let me read it out. Let me read this out. Inhibition of methicillin-resistant MRSA. And it says here, of the 64 blended essential oils, 52 exhibited inhibitory activities against MRSA, with RC, motivation, and longevity, blended essential oils having the highest inhibitory activity. I know I can show this. I know showing this is compliant. I don't have to tell you how to use it. So this is the way that I'm trying to share that you can show this in a presentation. And it's very easy to find. You can just go to PubMed and type in RC and MRSA. I can show this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, when I do a workshop, I have a slide that is like this. I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And then I write how I use it, and then I tell people, this is actually the presentation for emotional oils usage for the PSK. That's why I have an affirmation here. The normal PSK presentation is ask people to share 3 ways of how they use this oil. And then I ask people to share how to use RC, right? And this is how I do my PSK presentation. And with every oil, I actually have, sorry, this is in Chinese, because I have to translate it. I actually have, this is D-limonene. And I can say that lemon has a lot of D-limonene. And I actually, this is actually a copy and paste of this. I highlighted the words. And these are really easy to find. If you type D-limonene into PubMed and information, it all jumps out.
Joanne, I don't think we can do that here.
Mhm.
And mainly, it's not, there's a difference, like, for example, in the US, there's the FDA
Mhm.
that has help, and there is something called the FTC,
Mhm.
which is the Federal Trade Commission.
Mhm.
So if we don't sell oils, we can show these things. As soon as there's a financial connection between what we say and implying that we're representing someone, we cannot use it.
This is what I'm trying to clarify too.
Yeah.
I can, because I've asked US compliance,
Mhm.
they say that we can share our experience and we can show studies.
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
long as on the same slide, you don't have the oil bottle showing it on that
Yeah,
slide.
so this is
You
fine.
just talk about lemon with D-limonene.
It's almost like you need to keep the two presentations separate. Like,
So this is my question, right?
yeah.
Can I show this slide?
I think that's
I can show this slide. This is what I'm trying to clarify for you. Is that you can actually put it in the same presentation as long as you do not have the bottle of oil on the same page.
Yeah, because you're just talking about the part of the oil and how it works.
Yes, yes.
As a nurse, I think that is safe to put on because you have access to that anyway, as a general person. Anybody can go to PubMed and end up searching up lemon oil. So that's what comes up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, you actually
Well,
can.
in the past, like, for example, you can go to Whole Foods or a health food store and they're actually posting recipes for insect repellent. And then we can call our stuff insect
Right.
repellent or any of that. It's just because in a row, you can look up the FTC stuff. And it'll be best for the compliance
Yeah.
to confirm because.
I have
that's the-
actually asked compliance in the US. They tell me that I can show the slide like this.
Yes, this
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yes. So what I have,
You're talking about lemon.
I'm talking about D-limonene,
Yeah, you're not talking about
lemon oil. No, I'm not.
living oil.
No, I'm not.
So you're just talking about that, you can say whatever you like about that.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just that young living essential oils, lemon
It has a lot of
has,
D-limonene.
right, that's no aside.
Yeah, but the fact is, you can show that,
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with you.
This is what I'm trying to show you how to do a presentation because we're talking about products. And I know that you guys have been struggling with sharing. I'm showing you a way of how to share, yes.
Those are the 2 words that is away from his heal and treat.
Yes, and here, it doesn't say heal or treat. It only inhibits this blah, 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 blah thing, right, okay? And that is what I do. I've always done it, and I've always been able to do it. And so, when I do my presentation, I always put one page like this, and then the next page, I show them a study. And then I say, well, there's a lot of D-limonene in lemon oil. And there, if you type D-limonene in PubMed, oh, you can find all sorts of studies. I even put it in my book. In my nature book, I even put all the studies in my book and I put reference. They say that as long as you put references, if it's on Chinese herbal usage, as long as you can put the reference in, and I can even put studies in my nature book onto them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wrote a Chinese, it's in Chinese, I'm translating it into English. Yeah, so with peppermint, you know, everybody knows how to use peppermint, and I have these two studies. Peppermint oil promotes hair growth without toxic sides. I didn't know that peppermint can promote hair growth. And then, the impact of peppermint oil on irritable bowel syndrome. Isn't that interesting? Right? So people start knowing, so maybe I can put it on my spot. I said, I don't know. So, and then that's when I asked, so can you share how we use peppermint? And one person would say, oh, well, I always bring it hiking because there's a lot of mosquitoes, and when I put it on, they stay away, right? Or if I get really itchy, then I put peppermint on it and the itch went away. They can say that, right? It's just sharing their own experience. I'm not telling you to do it, because they can share their own experience. And obviously, I'm not saying that you go like super public and post it on YouTube in public or do a Facebook Live in public. But if you're sharing with your friends in a closed group, it's fine. So what I am trying to say is, we don't. When the weather is cold, it doesn't mean that you do not go out. You find a way to stay warm. That's what I'm trying to say. And it breaks my heart to see that the members in Canada are not sharing, because I know you guys aren't. And it really does not serve us or serve our community well when we're not sharing because we don't know how to. And there's always a way. I mean, during COVID, we actually grew in Hong Kong. We were the only country that did not drop during COVID, they told me. Because I find a way to share. So this is what we have to do, is because we have products that is so amazing. When they tell you that you can't do this, then you find a way. Then you tell me what I can do, and I will work with it, right? That is something that I think I have managed to duplicate in our team. It's the attitude of working around what can be done and what cannot be done. And honestly, these compliance things have changed over the years. Right? Like, I have a new beginner handbook, and I put all of these support, you know, in the old days you're supposed to say digest and support your digestive system, right? Now, apparently you can't say that, so I gotta switch, I gotta remove all of it, right? And so, oh, really? But back in 2015, they said, this is the only way what I can say. Oh, but I can actually relieve bloating feeling. Okay, sure, I'll change it to remove bloating feeling then. And I'm not gonna fight with them because they tell me I can't say it. I'm not gonna stand there and waste my time arguing but back in 2015, this is how you tell me to do it, but now, I'm not gonna waste, just tell me what I can say, and I'll say that, right? This is also, I feel like what Gary had given us is the smartness to work with what we can work with. So I'm not showing you this presentation because I want to tell you how to use peppermint oil. I'm showing you this presentation to give you a way to share your products. And then I have this again, this lavender study. And I didn't know that until I needed to do my presentation. I was looking at lavender, and I was looking up lavender antimicrobial, and this popped up. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And interestingly, when you have, and I was trying to calculate 1 to 20 microliter. I was trying to calculate how many drops this is, right? And then I found out it's like a drop. So if you are diluting, because in Hong Kong we have a lot of people who dilute 1 to 30, and when you're doing 30 ml to 1 drop, you have to put the whole 30 ml of V6 on your body in order to get the benefit of 1 drop. And here it says 1 drop already works. You don't need 20 drops. I find this very fascinating, because I love reading studies. And then with purification, we've got lemongrass study. Oh, wow, this lemongrass study is amazing. And I love using lemongrass and then putting on a hot compress. or purification, and then I put it on a hot compress. I love putting purification behind my ear, down my collarbone. You know, because it's really, really good for this neck area that's really make it very comfortable. That's what I say. And people will know, because sometimes they ask you questions privately and then they ask you stuff privately. And then, because the thing is, all these studies will actually show why we think our oils work, right? So there are abundance of them. And then, I found this, actually, this tarragon, ginger, peppermint is obviously other ingredients of that Chinese. Actually, in Chinese medicine and Indian medicine, they both use very commonly for digestive issues. And this is very commonly used in Hong Kong because we have a lot of Chinese doctors. You guys actually have a lot of Chinese doctors here in Toronto, right? And I didn't know that heated Fennel therapy promotes the recovery of gastrointestinal function in patients after complex abdominal surgery. This is interesting, right? And all these different studies, it's crazy. Okay, and then this little story about the plague doctor. This is actually, I also found that thieves actually can protect our energy fields. I have a funny story to share. I've got this friend, she's a member. She said that after putting thieves under her tongue and on top of her head, she's skinny, she's like the size of Crystal, like she's small, like she's very slim, right? She can arm wrestle and win a guy. You guys should try it. Thieves on top of the head and under her tongue. Crazy, I watch it myself. It's insane. So thieves is super powerful. Not only does it protect your aura, it gives you strength. You guys should try it, and video record it too. It's very funny. So I always bring this with me. So this is how I would educate on the products. I mean, you guys are very knowledgeable on the products. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to teach about the products. I would love here to show you a way to share it. And look, oh, I love this study. I love this one, 60 minutes only, completely. It's like only 0.06% and 0.12% concentration. And then in 15 minutes already, it can completely kill S. pneumoniae. Isn't that insane? And this is a compound in clove and cinnamon. Huh? So, I'm actually nearly done with this product education thing. There are two things that I don't know if you guys are aware. Gary wrote a blog, and it's still up on the internet. They've made the website pretty difficult to search. I've asked them multiple times to try to change it back. But you can easily find the stuff that he taught. And he had written so many articles. So if you don't know about the D. Gary Young blog, go back to the D. Gary Young blog and find little stories. I encourage everybody, if you want to learn more about Gary's stories, go to his blog and read an article a day. That's what I did when I first started. I committed myself to spending about 15 to 20 minutes learning about Young Living products every single day. Over the years, I've probably spent 10,000 hours on it, and that's why I became an expert. And because the study shows that if you spend 10,000 hours on something, you become an expert, right? And if I do it 30 minutes a day for 365 days, that's 150 hours. Well, over years. But I also, because you are living a Young Living life, after you've learned something, you want to share it with people, right? You want to tell people about it. And I, personally, that's what I did. Every day I would commit to reading about 30 minutes of Young Living. Usually you cannot stop after 30 minutes because it's so fascinating about Gary or about the products. And then every week I commit to watching one TED Talk, which is 20 minutes, about personal growth. So commit to reading something about personal growth once a week. I ended up doing it every day because I loved it so much, right? And so by growing yourself and being healthy, you can have a better life, and then you can have that wellness that Gary talked about in our mission statement, right? So D. Gary Young blog, and then you can also go to Issue, the Young Living account. Under Issue, there are the Essential Edge news from back 2011, 2010. And Gary used to write all of them. So that's where I learned about Gary also, other than meeting him myself, right? And then I actually did, I know I'm not supposed to promote myself, but I'm not promoting myself, this is all about Gary and handling. I actually taught a 16-lesson class online. It's all about Young Living and all about Gary. I started with 1973 when he hit his head. Okay, it's about an hour or an hour and a half lesson every week. I did it and then I uploaded all the videos.